Welcome to the first Open Alliance weekly recap of the 2024 season. Today we'll be exploring the various prototypes and developments made by a handful of teams as we begin the new season. Team 95, the Grasshoppers, created a prototype horizontal shooter that took various measurements to determine accuracy and effective shooting angle to begin transitioning to the CAD phase. This uses two different types of wheels to impart spin on the note. They have also adopted an under-the-bumper inside-outside intake, which several teams have adopted and built off of, and have since begun to CAD the drivetrain and experiment with a garbage bot prototype bot. Team 3467 Windup has hit the ground running, quickly strategizing for their Week 1 competition, limiting their robots' degrees of freedom and setting forth on a fast-paced build season schedule. They have also showcased 5 unique archetypes that effectively describe the landscape of many of the robots we expect to see this year. These archetypes include the Robot in 3 Days team Unqualified Quokkas, who pivot their shooter and intake together and score to multiple locations. A 4-bar that stows under 26 inches, which allows them to go under the stage without extending their intake. A utility arm which packs a whole lot of punch in one moving joint, a robot featuring an under-the-bumper intake and climber, and a utility arm that takes advantage of a hopper. Presenting these different concepts helps their team formulate a plan going forward in the season and constructing their alpha bot. Team 3847 Spectrum has prototyped a mechanism that allows the scoring of notes into both the amp and the trap and developed an under-the-bumper intake. They've also created an elevator that rides along the side of the trap and allows the robot to climb on the chain. They are programming accurate note detection for the robot via Limelight 3 and designed and started assembling their alpha bot, including a double horizontal roller note launcher, an amp and trap mechanism, and the ability to climb with the amp and trap mechanism. Team 4481, the Rembrandts, have also been creating several intake and shooter prototypes. They started with a double-sided wheel shooter testing various distances and wheel materials and started prototyping a very effective ground intake. They also set their sights on the amp, creating their Champer prototype and manipulating their notes into the amp for fast scoring. Team 6328 Mechanical Advantage are trying a variety of different styles of shooters and intakes for interacting with the note. Their inline shooter has also gone through several iterations to build on modularity for different wheel styles. They put together some neat graphics that showed the variability that the wheel type and compression led to. 6328's horizontal rollers have shown some promising results in keeping the note more stable in the air, despite using small wheels. They also have an intake that can spit out the notes from a different orientation, inspired by 3847's work, that can be integrated into a system for scoring the amp and the trap. That's all for this week's Open Alliance recap. Thank you to all of the teams who submitted their progress, and if your team would like to submit their own, feel free to do so through the submission form. We'll see you all next week.